Well, here we are with two of my favorite people from Asia. Dr. Udai, would you kindly introduce our friend?
Well, I'm very happy to introduce Mr. Gurnam Saran, who is president of the EMPI Institute, and it's several institutes under that umbrella. I think he has been a pioneer in the field of public sector, and he, in the early days, he introduced the whole concept of quality in India, and we had very nice time when he was there to discuss various issues and to work on them.
Yes.
So this is my great pleasure in introducing him.
And he's also a guru of productivity.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So tell me about your relationship, both of you. You want to start, Gurnam?
Well, I would like to go back to late 70s to say a little more about my background. Primarily, I'm an industrial engineer, and my initial introduction to the field of OD and behavioral sciences was very limited. In fact, in a way, I must say I was a hardcore industrial engineer wanting to improve efficiencies and effectiveness of the shop floor. But over the years, I realized the futility of those methodologies, feeling that unless the human mind is involved, the effectiveness cannot be pushed in. And that made me curious to learn more and more about behavioral sciences, as well as the upcoming methodology of OD. And it was late 70s when I came in touch with Professor Pareek, who was an advisor to our company, Bharat Heavy Electricals.
I'm so impressed. The reason why I got attracted, I think when he offered me to come and do some work with the EMPI group of institutes, was that I had great respect for the values he held, for his leadership in involving people, for his humility, and the way he not only followed values, but he helped people to follow values. So I thought this was a great chance for me to be able to do something with a person who is so much committed. That's what I came. Now I would like certainly to know from him what his vision of EMPI is. So what do you think EMPI stands for, and what do you see EMPI as the future? Certainly we have discussed from time to time, but maybe you may like to articulate it more.
Well, to put it in concise words, I have been, I think, like what OD emphasizes, is that any change can be made or made effective if we focus on the processes. And OD, I think, is really a process too. And I feel anywhere, whether in the corporate world or in the societal change which we look for, this tool is a must. And when we talk of process, the broad picture in my mind, which we are sharing with other colleagues, is to bring about the whole systems change for transforming the human society.
You're speaking to my heart.
And with this goal, we are looking at it, learning, both within the institute as well as from experts like Udai and Roland and some others who come in contact with us. And our dream is to lead this institute with Dr. Pareek in his name and build a world-class setup in time to come.
that OD is not about tools and techniques, but it's about the way one lives their life. And you just told me, I've heard it exactly a couple of times from you in the last 2 days, that OD is a way of life. What do you mean about that? And then maybe, Udai, you could make a comment also.
Well, to me, as I mentioned, my personal life has been an evolution. I'm repeating, from a hardcore work study methods engineer, looking around and learning. Also, I experienced the Western way of working and the attraction which the Oriental or the Japanese processes drew everybody's attention. Dr. Pareek mentioned about my involvement in quality and productivity. When we look at quality itself, from typical statistical quality control on to zero defect philosophy, which the Japanese brought in focus, implying thereby that instead of inspecting a person's work, let the person be the inspector of his own work. I saw this as a 180 degrees switch from a model of organization which was subordinating human beings to somebody's directives and checks and balances, to an individual controlling himself. And I think that very closely relates to OD processes.
Mm-hmm.
And with that kind of a thing in the backdrop, I think more and more about it, and I feel that there is no other way than to, if we want to unleash the energy of the humans who are involved in creating a new society, unless they are players in the game, the best may not happen.
So what does it mean to you, Doc,
Yeah.
about OD as being a way of life?
Yeah, I think this is a very significant statement which you have made. I think for me OD stands for empathy with people,
Empathy, yes.
for helping people to determine their own lives, as I think Mr. Gurnam Saran has said. It is, for me it stands that more concern was for processes and their values rather than only goals. As Mahatma Gandhi said, I think the means are as important as goals are, in fact more important. And I think that is what OD says, that what are the processes are more important. So we work on these processes. For me also this means that to be involved and to make sure that this is participatory work rather than a single person leading all the change.